Hey everybody, it's Mike Jeffers, ChicagoJazz.com and ChiTownBlues.tv. I am here in the Delmark studios. We are previewing a bunch of artists that are performing for the Bob Koester 65th tribute on June 8th at the Chicago Blues Fest, June 8th through the 10th for the full Blues Fest. I am excited. Guy King is here. He is back off the road.
Mike.
I've known Guy for a long time. Killing player, awesome guy, and he's playing twice at the Chicago Blues Fest doing a tribute to Willie Kent.
Yes.
And also a solo show that we're going to talk about a little bit. But I think it'd be really good because, you know, people have seen your name, they've seen your albums, they're seeing you touring all over the place, and you're getting busier and busier and busier. I thought it'd be good to get a little background on you and just kind of, you know, give the people a little hint on how Guy King came from Israel and ended up in the Chicago blues scene and now a worldwide brand. You like that?
I like that. I like that. Keep on. I'm liking it. So I was into to music as a little boy, and I had the pleasure to finally, after already playing and singing, coming here as a singer in a school group when I was about 16 years old on tour.
Mm-hmm.
I went back to Israel, finished high school, finished 3 years in the Army, and then returned to the United States. Started in Memphis, Tennessee.
Okay.
Then in New Orleans, Louisiana, and then came up to Chicago.
Now, when you were here with the school group, you were in Chicago, and didn't you hear somebody play or hear something, or was it in New York?
It was in Memphis. It was actually in Chicago and in Memphis and in New York City. We had the pleasure to visit a few Baptist churches and do some collaborations too.
Okay.
And I was already into blues actually then. I mean, I played clarinet first, so I was kind of into jazz and classical. But then I picked up a guitar and started singing, and Albert King, B.B. King, Robert Johnson, it was already in the vein. So coming was important to me, and you know, in Memphis I kind of backtrailed where B.B. King started and Albert King. And, you know, afterwards I came to Chicago. I think within 2 weeks I was hired. It was Lil Max Simmons. He was alive then. He asked me to play with him. And then Willie Kent shortly after heard me and asked me to join his band.
Wow.
As his lead guitarist. And then he was getting a little up there in age, and I kind of made me a band leader for him. And I recorded with him. I traveled.
Was he traveling a lot then? I mean, he was getting a little older, but he was still doing a lot of dates, right?
He was doing tons of dates actually in the Chicago area. We were busy. We didn't have to travel much. Most of our travel was mostly international. So Europe, Japan, and like hit and runs in the States. You know?
Right.
Like we're doing 4 dates in Mississippi, or we're doing dates in Minnesota. You know, just 3 dates and back to Chicago.
But that had to be such an experience because, I mean, you're touring with a legend, essentially, right? And you're getting the road work in with a legend. You're watching how this whole thing goes down, how he's setting up shows. I'm sure you're learning a ton.
Yeah.
So how have you taken that experience and that, you know, incredible experience and brought that into your music? And, you know, you've got so many different facets of your band. And now you're touring all over the place and you're getting these albums out. I mean, how have you brought some of those experiences into where you're at now?
I think Willie and I saw things in a little bit of different light. Maybe it was the age. Look, the man was over 60 years old. I was 20. You know, the band, I was like 40 years younger than the next band member to me. So I was really mostly into the music. I did not care about the business aspect. But I'm not blind and I'm not dumb. So you see how things operate. You know? From how they need to work to how they should not work. Willie told me always, you can learn 2 things: how to do it and how not to do it if you just keep your eyes open. But I really wanted to play, you know, to play and to sing, and Willie encouraged me to do that and to be the best. So it was great. He was really intense.
Really?
As soon as he started singing, you can hear it. There was almost a cry in the voice. He was really intense. And that's something that I started keeping in the back of my mind. Like people that I love most, you know, music-wise, people like, again, like B.B. King, like Robert Johnson, like Ray Charles, even instrumentalists like Wes Montgomery and Errol Garner. There's always this cry, this intensity. It's always there. It's like you know, it just hits you.
Yeah.
And the first time I heard him, even before he had me join the band, he had that. And that's something that I tried then to get into. Every time I pick up my instrument or open my mouth on stage in front of people, I try to just the focus to get that pure feeling.
Yeah.
So this I learned even more than the touring aspect or this what I was in my young 20s. The business aspect was cool, but I just wanted to be the best that I could be.
Yeah, and the fact that you're so young, but you're picking up those things, that's the key, right? Because you're able to develop that now over the years.
Yeah.
And you created your own voice and created your own sound out of that.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
And I kind of expanded the whole the music stuff. I love the blues, but I love rhythm and blues and soul and jazz. That's for some of my selections and albums, and I kind of expanded on that thing. But again, to me, it was always the feeling of the music. How it kind of pinched you inside, what it does to you. So the genre naming, I'm not big on that. It's mostly to explain if somebody doesn't understand. But good music is good music, and you'll feel it. And not as good music is not as good music, and you'll feel it less.
You'll feel it, but in a different way. So now you're going to be doing tribute to Willie Kent.
Yes.
On June 8th on the main stage as part of the Bob Koester tribute night here from Delmark Records. Now, how long have you been on Delmark? You've got.
I have only one album on Delmark, but Willie had I think 4 or 5, and I was asked I will be performing a solo show on June 8th from 4 to 5:15. At the front porch stage, I believe.
Right, I think so, yeah.
And paying tribute to my influences, playing my music, my original compositions, as well as stuff that influenced me, that made me come up with the music I play.
Yeah.
And then heading to the main stage to pay tribute to a gentleman who introduced me and encouraged me and kind of helped build my name on the scene.
Yeah.
So I'm very excited to do that. I'll pay tribute to Willie Kent, and then a part of the tribute to Bonnie Lee, who used to sing with Willie's band every Monday night at Blues on Halstead.
Wow.
I was there for 6 years. Every Monday, we didn't miss a gig.
Kidding. Wow.
I remember even missing Ray Charles once because I played there with
Really?
Willie, and I was like, Willie, you sure we playing that Monday? He said, yes, son. Like, but Ray is coming to town. It's like, but we playing. I'm like, okay. So
you got your guitar. I mean, what kind of tunes? What's a tune that somebody's going to hear if they come in here? Guy King either do the solo thing or do the Willie Kent thing. I don't know. Since you got your guitar, why don't I put you on the spot for a second?
All right. Well, probably if you hear me with a band, but playing tribute to Willie. Willie had me as his lead guitarist for the most part. So he would say he would ask me to squeeze it, which means to squeeze the strings.
Yeah.
So, solo, I would play something like this sometimes. I'm a steady rolling man, and I roll both night and day. But I ain't got no sweet loving woman to be rolling this away.
Oh.
So just different sides of things,
That is awesome. So there's your preview right there. So if
just
you don't go check
taste.
him out. So he's playing on Friday at 4 to 5:15 on the front porch stage. And then, of course, the Willie Kent tribute on the main stage on the Priester Pavilion, June 8th. And you also are playing all over the town. Plus, you have your website and you have festivals coming up. Why don't we do some plug in here? Because people have to come and hear you play outside of this Blues Fest somewhere.
Yeah. So you asked me about Delmark. I will go back to that and say that I cut the album Truth for Delmark.
Yep.
That very glad to share with you two ones that didn't know that was nominated for the Blues Music Awards of 2017. So it was a great introduction for me to Delmark, and Delmark for me, and us to the
And
scene.
by the way, he's got some cool videos for that too.
Yes.
He's made some really cool music videos for that. So okay.
And so I'm excited and honored, and it's a pleasure for me to be a part of a tribute to Delmark.
Yeah.
And playing tribute to Willie Kent.
Yeah.
So it's kind of personal, and it's I'm looking forward to it. Be a part of it also with Richard Sherman and Steve Wagner from the label. Richard produced Truth for me, and Steve engineered and was in the whole session.
Yeah.
So, and then my own shows, I have a lot after Blues Fest. The next night, June 10th in the morning and afternoon gig too, all around the Chicago area. Different shows. Will probably be something going on in California in July.
Oh.
Trying to close it now. In August, I'm going back again to Europe.
Okay. But they can get all the info. What's your website?
All the info is on my website. It's guyking.net. You can see the shows with my full band or sometimes solo shows. I perform just guitar and voice.
Yeah.
So just different flavors of the same food. You know?
So you've got to check him out. You'll see him at the Blues Fest, but you've got to see him. If you can see him, obviously all these different festivals, but if you can catch him in a smaller club, you'll feel it, man. You'll feel it, and it'll groove all night. So you don't want to miss this. Guy, thanks for sitting down with
Mike,
me.
thank you for having me.
Absolutely. And thanks for watching, and we'll see you at the Blues Fest.